Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
All right, so I want to thank everybody who is a current Patreon member and subscriber and past Patreon subscriber for your financially supporting the podcast. You know, as simple as that. You guys are awesome. You put your money where your mouth is, and I can't even really express the depth of my gratitude for that. If you are looking, if you're a listener and you want to get involved in the Patreon, check it out at patreon.com/bigtruth. And you can sign up. There's 4 different levels of patronage there, and they all come with their own exclusive benefits. And I got more stuff planned in the works to make the Patreon stuff even cooler. So check it out at patreon.com/bigtruth. Now, if you are looking for motorcycle parts and or gear or whatever, you need to check out Old Bike Bond. Excuse me. Sorry, at oldbikebond.com or on Instagram at Old Bike Bond. They got everything you need for your custom, your stock bike, your chopper, cafe racer, desert sled, whatever you're doing, they got something there for you. And they got their own line of leather goods and knives and whatnot under the name White Knuckler brand. You need to check them out, oldbikebond.com or on Instagram at Old Bike Bond. Now, if you got issues with anxiety or depression or trouble sleeping or inflammation, you tore some shit at the gym, you're insomniac or whatever, you need to check out Cradle Lake Clear. They make the best CBD oil in the business. There's so many manufacturers out there now. It's like the Wild West. So don't trust some shit you get down at the bodega. Go to cradlelakeclear.com. They bring you through their whole extraction process and all the, they only use organic, like top of the line materials to make their CBD. Check them out, cradlelakeclear.com, on Instagram, Cradle Lake Clear. And if you use the promo code Big Truth at checkout, you get 20% off your order. Excuse me, I got something lodged in my throat tonight. I don't mean to keep coughing. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, cradlelakeclear.com, promo code Big Truth at checkout, 20% off your order. Now, while we're talking about 20% off and whatnot, if you got a dirty dingus, you know what I'm talking about. You got a hairy shaft, you look like a Sasquatch below the belt, you need to check out Manscaped over at manscaped.com. They got a ball razor called the a male groomer. Is a better way to say that maybe. They got a razor called the Lawnmower 4.0 that will hook you up down there. It's got ceramic coated blades that are make it less apt to get any cuts or nicks or anything. Scratches. You don't want your ball bag scratched. Nobody wants that. But you know what? Your partner doesn't want that thing squeaky clean and hairless. I'm sure they will appreciate that, your significant other. So check it out, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BigTruth at checkout. You get 20% off your order and free shipping worldwide. And on top of the razor, they got all kinds of other products. So check it out. They got things for testicular health, like anti-chafing creams and like ball toner. But they also have like a nose hair trimmer, all kinds of stuff. So check them out for men's grooming stuff. Check it out, manscaped.com. Promo code BigTruth at checkout, 20% off your order. Also, if you are looking, fall's coming, you know what I mean? It's getting a little crisp out there, a little cooler. If you need a scarf, you need a hoodie, even just some T-shirts, whatever, you need to check out Omerta at omertamia.com. Code of the streets type shit. Most legit street wear brand there is out there. Check them out, omertamia.com, OMERTAMIA, or on Instagram at omertamia. Once again, promo code Big Truth at checkout, 20% off your order there. All kinds of new shit coming in stock over there, all kinds of collaborations and whatnot, so check it out. If you happen to be in the unfortunate situation where you find yourself in a motorcycle accident, then you need to check out lawtigers.com. And the best thing you can do is go on Facebook and type in Law Tigers and then your state. So if you live in Minnesota, you type in Law Tigers Minnesota, and you will get in touch with the regional office or the most local office for you. Or just go to lawtigers.com and call the main number or hit them up there, and they'll get you in touch with whoever you need to talk to. But I hope you never need to use that one. But if you do find yourself in a motorcycle accident, give them a call. They're a motorcycle law firm founded by riders for riders, and all they do is handle accidents, motorcycle-related accidents. So give them a call, Law Tigers. While we're talking about clothing and stuff, I got a lot of friends that are involved in these worlds. If you find yourself on the darker side of things, you like weird shit like occult stuff or serial killers or, stoner doom metal, black metal, whatever. But you also like show vans and choppers and rad shit like that. You need to go check out Heavy, my man Zach Doom's clothing company, and not just clothing, all kinds of shit, nefarious wares, whatever. It's heavy.bigcartel.com is the website where you can make your order. Or if you go to Instagram, check them out at Heavy Clothing. And, while you're at it, check out Pitchfork at pitchforkny.com. A staple in the punk rock metal and hardcore communities for decades. So check them out. pitchforkny.com, clothing company, and also a record label. They got a new New York hardcore 12-inch compilation LP out. Need to pick that up as soon as you can. If you are looking for more information on motorcycling, building a chopper, whatever it is, if you just want to look at pictures of cool bikes and random nonsense and funny shit, you need to check out Chop Cult. They're the biggest kind of online message board and information clearinghouse out there for motorcycle-related stuff that there is. And you can check them out at chopcult.com, on Instagram and all the other social media, simply at Chop Cult. They got an online, not only do they got a huge message board set up, broken up by topic. They also have an online swap meet where you can buy, sell, and trade parts. They got a newsletter they push out every week that gives you a digest of the shit that's going on. They got an events page where you can find out about motorcycle-related events all across the world, and all kinds of stuff. An online store, where they just curate goods from motorcycle manufacturers and whatnot. So check them out, chopcult.com. And membership is absolutely free, and they don't ask for your credit card and none of that sketchiness. You can just sign up, and you don't got to worry about any of that other stuff. So check them out, chopcult.com. If you're in New England, you should come by my shop, Chop Ahead Custom Cycles. And if you're not in New England, just go to the website, which is chopahead.com, spelt in the most massholes of ways, which is CHOPPAHEAD. We are a full-service brick-and-mortar motorcycle shop. We can do everything for you, whether it's build you a custom chopper or do an oil change, anything in between. We got a parts counter. We pretty much set up with every parts manufacturer there is. So if we don't have it in stock, we can get it. We got an online store with a limited array of stuff, like, some of our own merch and swag and whatnot. But, just give us a call if you don't see it on the website. I don't got a whole web team developing and putting new products up there, but we got it. So give us a call, chopahead.com. You can email us off the website or give us a call, 508-995-6764. We're located in Freetown, Massachusetts. Or come on by, try a helmet on. We just got stocked up with First Manufacturing vests, and we're getting jackets and all that kind of stuff, all kinds of riding gear, gloves. Our Kevlar line Defender gloves, we're going to have more back in stock soon. We're limited size now, but there's more on the way. Just stay patient. But give us a call. Come by. Go to the website, chopahead.com. And any support is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you are are interested in seeing, Chop Ahead TV is launched. The first season is up on Tubi, so go check it out on Tubi. Tubi is like Netflix, but it's free. You might have to watch a couple commercials, but not a lot. Nothing annoying. And they got all kinds of rad old movies, all the old biker classics and stuff. So go to Tubi and just search Chop Ahead TV and check out that first season. Give us some feedback. Let me know what you think. And last but not least, if you want more information on the podcast, simply just go to bigtruthpodcast.com. All the episodes are up there, and more information on the more information on the podcast and everything. It's all there. As always, make sure you spread the word. If you like this show, leave a review, leave stars, subscribe, post a comment. All that stuff helps it kind of get more notice in the algorithms, as they say, and it boosts it up a little bit. So please, that's the awesome way that you could help support and keep this show going and growing. All right, enough banter now. We're going to get into today's episode right now.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Yes, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Big Truth Podcast, and I'm stoked to be on the phone tonight with my man, Mike Arnold, who you might know as Mike Revolt, and he's a fixture in the chopper scene, photographer of the highest order. He's works over at Lowbrow. He helps put on the Fuel Show. He's a man of many talents and who gives a lot to the chopper community. So I definitely want to welcome him on the show today. Mikey, what's happening, bro?
My guy, how are you, dude? I haven't talked to you in I think a year or something like that. So it feels good to hear your voice and stoked to be a part of your podcast. Finally, we've been talking about getting on here for a while, so
yeah,
excited to be on it.
No, absolutely, man. Stoked to have you on. You're sounding crystal clear. One of my plans was more to just bring the equipment this weekend and try and do them live, but it's way more important to kind of promote the show and whatnot. And so we do it over the phone now, and then we'll do something else down the line in person, because it's funner in person when you're sitting there interacting. But you guys are going to be so slammed all weekend anyway. You probably won't have got any time. You know what I mean?
It's like you're a chicken with your head cut off when it comes to show planning. So breaking off for an hour is not usually a good way to do it during showtime anyway.
No, absolutely not, dude. I know. From firsthand doing the full speed ahead stuff, man. It's just it's just nonstop. The week before is definitely the countdown, and every day it gets crazier and crazier. Then the show happens, and then afterwards, it still ain't over. Still,
you're just planning for next year. It's all over again.
Absolutely, and just hope for not another pandemic or some weird shit that interferes with venues and fucking craziness there. And like I said, we haven't all sat in the same room in a long time, man. Because the usual show circuit has been so disrupted, and they're coming back now, but they're coming back at different times, or they're coming back different venues, or different. In a different season, you know what I mean? So it's kind of all scattered still, but I think next year, hopefully we all get back to real closer to normalcy at least, you know what I mean? Because it's been bananas.
It's weird, man. The show circuit, for us in the industry, it's that's our family. You go to each show and you see those same 50 people, it's you see them at every single show. And if you don't see them at one, you'll see them at the next, and it's just been weird this last 2 years, and everyone's schedule has been thrown off, like you said, with everyone having to move their shows around due to COVID, and ours got completely shut down and canceled. I couldn't get permits last year, so we had to just kind of get rid of it altogether until now, and it's coming up this Saturday. So pretty crazy that it's almost been 2 years.
Oh yeah,
for us to do it. So
I know, and. I mean, Fuel is one of the shows I think I've been to every one, and it's one one of the ones I enjoy and look forward to most. It's always a good time. Like Cleveland's a bizarre city, and I think it's rad. You know what I mean? It's like it's not overpopulated. Like there's like you. I don't know how to explain it. Cleveland's a weird spot, man, but I love it. You know, it's like
one of the invited artists that's coming to the show. He's a new Clevelander. He moved from L.A. He was on a show you might know called The Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
he actually moved to Cleveland. His name's Michael Ornstein. He was one of the side characters on the show, but he's also an artist. And he called us immediately when he found out about the show, and he's like, "Dude, this is in my backyard. Are you kidding me? This is so cool. I want to be a part of it." And I talked to him probably for about 3-4 hours, and the guy was super nice, and he was telling me all about his artwork, and then he was telling me about Cleveland and how he's like, "Dude, me and my wife and my kids moved here. I am so excited about this town. It's a hidden gem. Don't tell anybody about it." Because he's like, coming from LA, it's so much, less money, and it's beautiful, and the school systems are great, and it's blue collar, and it's industrial, and it has art everywhere. And he was just going full nine, and it's like, these are things I know, but I don't think about all the time. And when somebody else from the outside comes and tells you all that stuff, you're just like, wow, yeah, that is Cleveland. He was just describing it to the fullest. So it was really cool to hear. So pretty neat stuff. And yeah, Cleveland's got a wide diversity of not just art, but motorcycles too. Ohio is one of the biggest staples in motorcycle industry. We have tons and tons of different factories that make parts from exhaust to, sissy bars and everything in between, super trap, cycle electric, gas box right here in Cleveland, Ohio, us at Lowbrow distributor. So there's just a ton of industry right here in Ohio.
Yeah, man.
And this show is, basically to celebrate that industry a little bit and bring people to Ohio to shine a little bit more,
Absolutely, man. And that's what's cool is like, every region kind of has like their go-to show, and Fuel is like, for the Midwest, man, and to highlight, the Midwest builders. I mean, obviously you got builders and whatnot from all over the place, but at the regional shows, more people from that region tend to show up. So you see a lot of what's going on there in those regions. That's why I love trying to, hit up different shows all across the country, because they all got their own flavor. And Fuel has just been an awesome show. I'm not, and I'm not blowing smoke. We've talked about this stuff. I think I was in your the fucking video about Fuel or something. I didn't.
Yeah, you made the last one. It was awesome.
Yeah,
and you talk about drinking cheap.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's cool, like, because you can go into a city and you're not spending $10 on a fucking beer, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not ridiculous. But above and beyond that, obviously we joke around and whatnot, and that's true too. But you know what I mean? That's not the main thing, But I mean, you guys have always had like nice locations. Even like, I still think my favorite one, and even though I know it's not sustainable, but when you guys had it at the bike park, and it was like all the bikes were on, all the choppers were on, like, or the customs, or the bikes that were in the show, or like all on the ramps, or just distributed all through the bike park and stuff. That was like visually such a fun show, and it was like you had to just explore all the rooms and like you kept finding new shit. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even see over there, and I like that,
What a learning curve that show was too, because that was our second one. We were basically had no venue, and Ray's Mountain Bike Park is a really great staple of Cleveland. If you've never been, or you like BMX or bike riding, it's basically the mecca for indoor parks. But they reached out to us, one of the guys that worked there, and was like, dude, we'll totally do the show here. And, walking around, like you said, room to room, we're like, we could put a bike on this. We could put a bike over here on this flat top, or what if you think a bike will balance on this ramp? And it was pretty fun. So, that's one thing with Fuel Cleveland. We've always just been trying to find new and cool ways to show people Cleveland. So we do change up the venues a lot. It's not the same venue every year. So everyone kind of gets to see a new part of Cleveland, Yeah,
hell yeah, man. And but yeah, why don't since while we're talking about Fuel and it's coming up this weekend, why don't we just talk a little bit more about the show? Why don't you kind of get in the history of it and your involvement, and just kind of give a basic rundown of kind of like the crux of the show.
It all started, Fuel Cleveland started basically an idea out of my head with Jesse Bassett from the Gas Box. we were sitting at the Brooklyn Invitational, and we're like, man, we just drove like 12 hours or whatever, 8 hours or 12 hours of, traffic and stuff in New York and hanging out. And we're like, this is cool and all. And I love the Brooklyn Invitational, but like, man, it would be cool to like do this in Cleveland. You know what I mean? Like bring people to Cleveland, see some of the bikes and the builders in our area, showcase some artwork a little more detailed and have more artists involved. And he was like, dude, that sounds like a bitchin' plan, but if we're going to do it, we need to do it with Lowbrow because they're like, that's our home. You know what I mean? And he introduced me to Tyler, and I met Tyler once or twice, Tyler Malinky. I met him once or twice at like a couple shows here and there. And I did like one photography job for him in 2014 or something for a swap meet or something, but never really like hung out with him or anything. And Jesse just walked right up to him and was like, Mikey, this is Tyler. And we just hit it off. And Tyler goes, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it big. And so that whole year in actually it was 2014, Brooklyn Invitation, not 2015, excuse me, because the first show was 2015. But that whole year I sat there while selling cell phones and playing, choppers on the side. I was selling cell phones as a main gig. I basically was helping schedule this show and reaching out to people I've met over the years, like you and some other the guys like Jason Sheets and Paul Cox and some other big players, and just kind of reaching out and seeing who would want to come to Cleveland on top of inviting some of the local guys. And I think we maybe got 30 bikes and I think like 20 artists or so. And some of the photographers were in that show were insane, like Cicero de Guzman, which is Godspeed, and Josh Kerpius. Like I got him the very first year, which was insane for him to come. And it was crazy because we found this out of this world warehouse that this dude just had a bunch of radiators and garbage laying around, and we sweeped it all up and cleaned it for 3 days straight and made it, a at-home show. And I think 1,000 people showed up or more on that first show throughout the day. And it really just kind of hit everyone like, whoa, we did that and we did it right. And we gave away beer for free at that event. And the admission's always been free for fuel, but that very first one, we set a precedent, like we're just going to give the show away to people, the public, give back to the public to make builders and artists shine. Like we don't want anything in return other than to keep the show running, if we can get a couple sponsors to help out, but that's about it. That's how it really started. And since then it's grown exponentially.
Oh yeah.
I think this is our 6th year now since we had to skip the one for COVID. So
cool, man. And kind of give people a rundown of the show, because like I could tell people, but it's better to hear from the horse's mouth, like, because you guys don't just have choppers, you got all kinds of different bikes. You got race bikes, like classics, like restorations, like, originals, like you got choppers, all kinds of customs. You got a lot of artwork and from photographers, but and different types of artists, but all kinds of stuff going on. Give a little more rundown to like the type of things that are happening, this year, at the show, like, and where people can find stuff,
Yeah. So this year the show is going to be in a 45,000 square foot warehouse. We got the entire second floor of this warehouse. It does have a freight elevator for easy access for if anyone's, going to be in a wheelchair or just doesn't like walking upstairs. but they,
loading bikes to loading bikes.
Yeah, loading bikes is going to make it way easier than lifting it upstairs. That's for sure. But it's got that kind of that Mama Tried vibe from like 4 or 5 years ago. It's got really bitchin' windows and nice beams and wood floors and white walls. The venue is just really amazing. I'm really grateful. It's called 17 or Building 17, and this is in the Twist Drill Factory, which is a really old staple of Cleveland. It's an old company that made drill bits for a very long time. I wish I knew more of the history so I could nerd out with everyone, but I'm bad at that stuff. But we signed up with them, and they gave us the entire second floor, and that allowed us to invite over 135 bikes this year. And the bikes range from anywhere from a 1905 Harley Davidson to like a 2002 Aprilia crazy one of a kind MotoGP race bike. So Jesse, Tyler, and I really strive to find not just choppers, even though that's what our businesses are and what we cater to. We want to find bikes that are rare, bikes that have a lot of crazy fab work, a lot of, interesting parts to it, stuff that's just off the wall. And then people that, even just the guy in the backyard that's just doing their thing. And you could tell they really tried really hard to make something incredible. So we really strive to put all kinds of different bikes in there. And it's not just Harley based. We have Yamahas, Hondas, Nortons. There's even a Vincent coming from the Crawford Museum, which is in a local museum here that does mostly car and aviation. But those guys are actually doing a year of the motorcycles with Barber, and they got like 35 bikes of all different ranges as well, which is going on this weekend and also throughout the year in Cleveland. So lots of motorcycle goodness when it comes to this weekend for Cleveland. We also have over 50 artists this year. Wow. I don't usually do that many, but there's a dude that's bringing 30 different artists sissy bars that I don't know if you've been seeing on the internet. They're incredible. They all got like the same kind of sissy bar, but he said make some kind of art with it. And these people are going just off the chain with some of the stuff that they're doing, from devil chicken design to I'm trying to remember all the guys' names, but Troy Fab, even some guys that aren't artists that are actually just fab guys. They're like fabbing up some cool stuff with them. But so there's 30 different sissy bars that will be in the show. I have 10 painters that do different kind of paintings, from mixed media and whatnot, and also digital design. And they're all either motorcycle related and or motorcycle kind of art. And then I have another 12 to 13 photographers that will be showcasing life culture stuff that is based on motorcycle, the motorcycle culture. So it could be anything from, epic trips in the Himalayas to, just riding to get ice cream and different kind of things like that. So I don't know. I love it all, and it's very inspiring. And the show is very inspiring because I've heard from a lot of people, man, I went to this show, and the minute I got home, I found a bike on Craigslist and I got it and I tore it apart, and I want to build one to be in your show next year. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I love hearing.
Yeah.
Or a kid's like, hey, I wanted to take photography classes because I saw some cool photography in that show. You know what I mean? Like, that's the cool stuff. So that's what this is all about for us, is giving back to the community, letting other artists and builders shine, and hopefully inspiring some new blood in the mix too,
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Cause we got to just keep it going with new generations and whatnot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so anything else different going on this year than previous years? I mean, I know it's
because it's November, it's a little colder, so put on a jacket if you're riding out. We always say, even if you couldn't make the inside show because we only have so much, only so many people we can invite. We can't put everyone in, unfortunately. That we tell everyone to ride out to the show because the outside lots become shows all on their own. So we always encourage people to ride out, but it is going to be a little colder. So we do suggest, button up, wear a leather or something. And we do have heat in the building, and the show's usually always been half inside, half outside. The actual show's fully inside this year. So that is a little different for us. I do have 2 food trucks that'll be out there. And of course we'll be serving beer and stuff like that. So other than that, man, it's freaking, just people wanting to hang out and talk motorcycles. There's no egos. There's no like, look at me, I'm the badass freaking guy. It's, hey, check out this bike, check out what I did. I'll explain how I did it and teach you. And the next guy's like, oh yeah. And they'll teach that person. And it's just very like cool to hear people really relate to each other instead of showing off.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's what I said. And that's what I've told people. I was like, that's the fun thing about Fuel is not a lot of cool guy shit, even though everyone there's a fucking cool guy, but not in the cool guy way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're already just cool. You don't have to explain you're cool.
Yeah. You don't have to try and be cool. Like, it's just, there's no attitudes or egos there. It's just a good time. And And I feel like it's indicative of like the city of Cleveland, like, you know what I mean? It's just like working class, like fucking legit fucking city. It's with no like pretense to it. Like it's just fucking rad. Like, and it's a good time. You can go out. I've always had a blast there, but like at the show, before the show, after the show, you know what I mean? The only thing that sucks is the ride home, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And you got a long one too, man.
Yeah.
So we really appreciative of you always coming out every year, you know,
Oh no.
because, Chopperhead's just been, you know, in the frickin' chopper world forever, and we appreciate your friendship and you coming out all the time. It's really awesome.
Oh no, of course, man. It's a good time, dude. I wouldn't miss it. You also have dude, yeah, 45,000 square foot inside, man. That's legit footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the reason we got that much footage is, like I said, we had the whole show inside. I also forgot we have 70 plus vendors that'll be vending there. So
yeah,
showcasing anything from jewelry to artwork as well, to just even crafting parts and whatnot. Like different people, you know, they hand make parts and they're going to be selling them. I know like CT Newman's bringing, this is a secret, but I'm going to let it out the bag. He's bringing 10 boutique headlights that he made from scratch.
Nice.
It's like, that's it. 1 of 10. If you don't buy one there, you ain't getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's never making them again. Stuff like that. Like you're just going to find some really cool one-off stuff. I'm going to have...
And don't be a dick and have someone buy one of those for you. Let it go to people that are at the show and physically buying it off them. Just saying, don't be that guy.
I think when they see the sticker, they might not be able to just get it by themselves.
Yeah.
That dude puts so much work into stuff, and he's so good. It's just it's unreal. So yeah,
good work ain't cheap. Cheap work ain't good. That's you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
and especially with full custom handmade stuff. Like be prepared to fucking. You know what I mean? Like people got no problem paying, you know, like some bullshit stamped out shit and spending $300 on it. But if it's handmade by one artisan in his shop and it's $500, everyone balks at it. It's like you got. It's time to be done with that. You know what I mean? Like you like understand like what you're getting, and that's the cool thing. It's November, right? It's holidays are right around the corner. There's 70 vendors. Like go support local small businesses. You know what I mean? Don't buy some shit from Walmart or Amazon. Go to Fuel and buy shit from that's handcrafted or you know made by the person that's selling it to you hand to hand. You know, go support that. We need to get that going more in this world. If the last year and a half hasn't taught us anything, you know, with 45% of all American small businesses out of business and huge corporations showing record profit, like we got to turn the tables on that shit a little bit, you know what I mean? And fucking go support these shows, support the artisans and the vendors and the builders and you know, obviously the show sponsors and the people that are putting it on, you know, like, you know, I'm sure Lowbrow should have a good setup, right? And Jesse always has a good setup. And, you know, like, you know, come support these guys, man, because, you know, like, your life's going to be a lot more boring if half these motherfuckers ain't around anymore, you know?
Dude, I could not say that better myself. Preach, Truth, preach.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know? Just, you know, I don't know. It's weird, man. Like, I just don't want people to forget the lessons, because, like, a year ago, everyone was touting that, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's getting forgotten and by the wayside, you know? And it's just, I'm not trying to diatribe. I'm just trying to, you know, inject a little, you know, just put it out into the world, and hopefully it resonates with somebody and helps, you know.
As your name is, truth. Everything you just spoke is truth, because that's exactly how I feel about, you know, everything that is with artisans and people doing stuff in small businesses. Like you gotta support those little guys, because they're going to go away, and what are we going to all be force-fed Amazon our whole life? Like,
yeah, exactly, man. And you know, and not for nothing, like if you can't make it to Cleveland this weekend, there's probably a show happening near you. There's more shows than ever now. It's fucking crazy. It's hard to keep up, you know, and I feel bad. I'll see some new one and I want to get to it, and it's hard because you got to pick and choose battles as a business, because, you know, at the end of the day, they end up costing you money to go to them, like, you know what I mean? And it's like an expense and travel, and also just time away from your shop. But, you know, it's so worth it, man, to get out and just remember why you're doing this sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, it's rad when you're in a group of like-minded rad fucking people, you know what I mean? and I know I'm fairly antisocial in general world, in general society, and I live in my little domains of my motorcycle shop and my tattoo shop, and I function well there. And then, when I get out to shows, it's fun, man, because it's like you're around like-minded people, and it's like, yeah, this is what the fucking shit's about, Like I love motorcycles, and I love the scene around it,
I've definitely seen you out of your bubble in some shows.
Oh yeah, no, I don't give a shit. Like I'm like, this is like my vacation and work. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm having fun. Like whoever's around me, we're gonna have fun. Like you know what I mean? I don't care. Like
dude, I remember at the smoke out like in 2017, you were fucking drunk as shit with a staff and yelling at people to jump this fucking ramp, and you're like, just do it, pussy, and like just having a blast.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, truth's in rare form tonight. And that's the shit that's always fun,
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. And that's what's cool about like Fuel is that there's a lot of people there just having fun. Like I said, there's no pretense, you know what I mean? And that's what I love. And there's a lot of cool shit around Cleveland if you can stay a couple days afterwards or something, to hit up. There's all kinds, like you said, there's all kinds of shops, there's all kinds of industry, there's all kinds of cool, like, there's, you got to hit Alan B's barbecue, man. I hit that shit every time I'm there. You get your barbecue served from behind a bulletproof glass, but it's fucking legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go to the seedy part of town. I love that shit too,
We got all kinds of small record stores and frickin', Cleveland has some of the best food, I swear. Everywhere I go, and that's not me being biased, but everywhere I go, I'm like, man, I really wish I just could get some frickin' grilled cheese somewhere, stuff like that. So, if you stick around Cleveland, there's all kinds of shit to do. So, and, the town's fun to ride around into, like, there might be a lot of potholes that might sink your bike into a crater, but if you dodge those, it's a lot of fun to ride around.
Absolutely, man. Everyone practices those, like going back and forth, side to side. Put that shit to use. Get hammered and go out on the street and avoid potholes. Make it a video game. I'm just kidding about the get hammered part.
Yeah, don't get the hammered part.
I'm just kidding. Before everyone gets all upset. Yeah. There's a little truth behind every joke, though. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, but in all seriousness, too, like one of the fun things about Fuel is you guys, besides the show itself, you guys usually have like a litany of events around the show, like scheduled, like pre-parties and after parties and stuff. What are some of those this year?
Yeah, Friday we're encouraging everyone to, if they are riding, to go ride out to Edgewater Park and hang out for a while and kind of just show off your bikes to people that are there and hang out and shoot the shit and check out the lake because it's just beautiful and it's a great view of downtown Cleveland. And then your favorite bar and most favorite people's bar is Hooples. So we're pre-partying at Hooples at 8:00, and that has like one of the best views of Cleveland. It's down in the flats. There's a cool drawbridge that goes up every 25 minutes when it like a barge or a ship goes underneath, and you can see all of downtown all lit up, and it's got a nice patio. Even though it's going to be probably pretty cold, I'm sure he's going to have heaters and probably a barrel fire or two. I remember one year the Haints, when we had one of the parties there, they frickin' slept in the van right underneath the bridge and smoked weed with some like fucking hobos or something, and like woke up and like one of the homeless dudes was still sleeping there with them. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy, and that's what Cleveland's all about, is like getting with the locals and just doing the damn thing. So we're having a pre-party at Hooples Friday, and then Saturday night after the show, we're going to tell everyone to go back to Hooples if they want to. There's a couple other bars that we always suggested, and that's Now That's Class, which is like one of the best punk rock bars in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
The Fun House has got a lot of cool old school arcade games, a lot of just quirky weird drinks and stuff. Stosh is like one of the coolest dudes ever. He owns a really great bar. It used to be called the Spitfire and changed it up to this like crazy circus kind of bar now, and it's really rad. It's called the Fun House. That's another one we suggest to go to. And then one of the oldest bars in Lakewood we always tell everyone to go to as well is the 5 O'Clock Lounge. That bar is a lot of fun, and it's one of those dive bars that everyone just has a good time at. So any 4 of those bars is going to be where people are going to be gathering and partying, because they're all too small to house the thousands of people that are on the other show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're going to Hooples, get there early. Yeah.
Get there early. The dude that owns that place, he's one of the only ones that gets it in Cleveland, other than the other 3 bars I told you about. Like, we tell people, hey man, we're bringing 1,000 people to your bar, be staffed. And most people are like, you need to pay me $600 or you need to pay me $1,000 to have a private party. I'm like, you don't get it. We're bringing you customers. Like,
yeah. Like this ain't a private party. Like we're not reserving the whole bar. We're just sending 500 people to your bar. Be stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm warning you that you need to be staffed. Like that's it, you know?
Yeah.
So those bars get it. You know what I mean? They understand like, oh shit, Lowbrow is legit and they do parties. And every time they have one, it comes, you know, to a head and they make a lot of money. So, yeah, and all those bars are just fun, you know, fun times, and they have old school jams on the jukeboxes and stuff like that. And it's a good feel and good atmosphere. And as my friend Marcus Ghost Tooth always says, he says the event is the reason why everyone gets together, but the parties are there afterwards to hang out with all your friends and actually shoot the shit with people you haven't seen in a while. So
absolutely, yeah, that's as precise as it gets right there. But yeah, man, and. You know what we haven't talked about is a little bit about you, man. Let's hear your origin story, dude. How'd you even find your way into the world of motorcycles and custom motorcycles, and how'd you find your way into photography and all that, and maybe talk to people, you know, a little bit about that stuff.
Well, I'm no superhero like Batman, so I don't know if it's an origin story at all.
Well, you know what I mean, yeah.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But I think really I've been into motorcycles my whole life. My dad rode some old Hondas. Like he had a Silver Wing. I grew up pretty poor, but like he was able to scrape together whatever little bit of money he could to get the Silver Wing running. And you know, he etched his own glass like on the windshield and stuff. And I always would goo goo gaga over it. He would yell at me like, "Don't touch it!" And you know, he'd be fixing stuff, and I'd try to hammer a wrench. He'd be like, "That's a screwdriver," you know, stuff like that. But you know, my childhood was a little weird, and I skateboarded and you know, played music for a long time, and motorcycles was always just kind of hanging out, and it wasn't like something that I could actually like feasibly afford at the time of like my mid, you know, teens and late teens and early 20s. And around 25, I got my first bike, and it was a Harley Sportster like everyone else in the world, and just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I rode that thing every freaking day. It didn't matter if it was fucking raining or anything. I tried to get on that bike as much as I could and learn as fast as I could. And unfortunately, my mom died about the same time that year I got that bike. So it was kind of like really heart-wrenching, and I didn't know what to do with my life, and I wasn't playing music anymore. So like the motorcycle was kind of freeing in a way to like get my mind off things, but it wasn't the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the creativity in me, like I have to like create art and do stuff, was not there. And one day my wife was yelling at me like, "Dude, you're becoming a piece of shit and all you do is drink all day. You need to straighten up or figure it out. Like, stop being a piece of shit."
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And I saw her camera sitting on a desk, and I was like, "Babe, are you doing anything with that camera?" And she goes, "No, I'm not doing anything with the camera. I haven't touched it in a while. Just, you can use it, just don't break it." And I haven't looked back since I touched that camera. You know what I mean? Like that's just been what it is. And going to different friends' parties and in test lighting and testing shots, and then went to car shows and motorcycle shows, and it just started snowballing to where like that's all I wanted to do was go to motorcycle shows and take motorcycle photos. And you know, it became an obsession kind of thing.
Yeah.
And even like I told you before earlier, I was selling cell phones. If I wasn't selling cell phones, I was taking photos or riding to an event or something that had to do with choppers and motorcycles, and taking photos of that, and you know, submitting it to Chop Cult, which I thank Lisa Ballard every day for really introducing me to the world of, you know, most of the people I know, because without Chop Cult and her, I probably wouldn't have gone anywhere, you know. So she really featured me on a lot of my early work, and got me noticed for some magazines and stuff, you know. So
no, absolutely. I mean, like that's what I try and tell people, and you know, and they're a sponsor of the show, and I always, you know, I'm not saying like I can't. If you haven't been to Chop Cult, I can't stress enough, just go there. There's like literally, it's like the biggest information clearinghouse there is. You're like, for motorcycling, it's broken up by topic. It's easy to get to the shit, and there's just so much shit. It could be a little overwhelming, man. Especially if you got some boring ass 9-to-5 job, get on that shit.
Yeah, for real.
If you're a cubicle jockey, get on that shit, man. Like you will find some rad shit on there. You're like, I wish I had the time to go on there that I used to.
That website is a digital show of like everything that accumulates of Fuel Cleveland and other shows. Like, because you find articles of just freaking people riding and having a great time to forums, to buying parts, to like, supporting small business, to all of it. Like, she does all of that, that website. Like, and I, like I said, I'm super thankful that she noticed what I was doing and giving me the time to, feature some of my stuff on there. So I'm always grateful for her. And, after working with her, she introduced me to some magazines. I was getting featured in some magazines here and there. And I've always knew Lowbrow was local. And like I said, I was doing a couple jobs here and there for Tyler and whatnot. But I never really like hung out with him or knew him too much. And once we started that Fuel Cleveland show in 2014 and did the show in 2015, Tyler offered me a job at Lowbrow because he loved the show so much and how I took care of it and just was working nonstop on top of my normal job. He just saw my work ethic and he was like, dude, I need a photographer. I've been sending my product out to California for the last 5-6 years. And the shipping alone could be your salary. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, let's pump the brakes a little. I got to see what that salary looks like. But we talked, we talked it out and we talked it over. And after the Fuel Cleveland show, that first one, he hired me, and it was awesome because it's like, I didn't have an interview or anything. It was just, hey dude, do you want a job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like a self-made just thing. And it was like, holy shit, that happened.
And that's the best way when it grows organically. Like he had a need, he saw you could do that and fill that, and it just fucking worked out,
Yeah. And now I've been there, I think it's going to be 7 years in May, and it's just been rocking and rolling, man. And I love every minute of it. I get to be so creative with what I do and learn, and constantly learning like new techniques with video. I always used to video like skateboarding and like ruckus videos, like CKY bullshit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like just having fun. I never thought that would be part of a job that I do. And that's what I do now is I make fucking films about shows, and I make films about how to take apart a Triumph, engine from start to finish with Todd. And it's mind blowing where my life has gone. And I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunities that have been, put in front of me.
Sure. So, what's exactly your full role of what you do for Lowbrow? I mean, besides, I know you help make all, you do all like the movies and film stuff, but like what else?
It was full-time social media, for a long time. I grew the numbers for their social media from, I think they had like 20,000 on Instagram and like maybe 70,000 on Facebook. We grew that to over 250,000 each in the last 5 years. And that was all my doing for the most part on growing those numbers. And then YouTube was very small. It was at like 4,000 followers or something like that. Cause he had like maybe like EDR on there from like back in the day and like one other movie and some other small snippets, but focusing really hard on that. And I think we're at like 75,000 now subscribers, which is insane. But my whole role now is Lowbrow staff photographer / videographer. And we actually have a social media person that her name is Amanda, who's really rocking and rolling. And I kind of have her under my wing, just kind of making sure that she's promoting the brand and doing the things that we need to be talked about. But for the most part, she's handling it now and doing a really amazing job too. So stoked to have help because, as a small business, you're doing 5, 6 things all the time. There's 15 of us at Lowbrow, I think now, and we still do multiple jobs. Like for the longest time, I was on Mondays still picking orders because we were just so slammed this last year. You know what I mean? Like we all just pitch in. We all do whatever it takes to make it work. So my official title is photographer, videographer, but it's all of our titles are all over guy. So we do everything.
Yeah. Your title is videographer, photographer. Your job description is whatever it takes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Gorgeous Greg and I always joke, man, we die for Lowbrow, do whatever it takes, and we always joke around about that, but it's true. Like, we literally do anything we can to make sure that Lowbrow just continues to thrive and do as best we can. So.
Yeah, well, like I've known Tyler a long time, like when he was just starting, and when you got a guy like that is running a company, he's going to take care of people, and then that's how you get people like repping for you and repping for like being so like you guys saying whatever it takes for Lowbrow, but because it's a cool fucking entity, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
and it's from the scene. It's not like some like corporate invader trying to cash in on shit. It's like, homegrown, and to me that's always the most beautiful stuff,
It blows me away every day I look at his story. You know what I mean? Like from basically selling T-shirts out of his van at like the smoke out like 20 years ago to, operating in his back garage of 5 bays and shipping out basically every day, where USPS one day was like, you can't ship from your house anymore.
Yeah.
So he would have, him and his brother would have to take packages to the fucking USPS or whatever to actually get shipped out to, moving into the first building and now this building. And we just they're almost finished building another 12,000 square foot warehouse onto our building right now. So just to see his growth over the last, 15 years or more, it's insane. So to be a part of it and help his vision go and make sure that what he wants to put out in the world is looking good. That's my job, and that's what I try to do. And I think I'm doing okay because he's keeping me around. So.
Oh yeah, man. Like, I mean, and not for nothing. Like I've told you this before. Like your eye is impeccable, man. Like photography and video wise. So of course he's gonna keep you around.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you to say. It's always weird to hear compliments because I just do my thing. You know what I mean? I'm always just trying to be the best I can at what I am. And every day as an artist, you're still like, fuck, that sucks. And you're like, it doesn't suck in real life, but in your mind, you're just like, I got to do better. So
yeah,
I appreciate the compliments, man.
But that's what keeps you growing. Too often in this world, like you just hear about haters and people talking shit. Like, it's important just for people to pay respect where it's due, and it doesn't fucking hurt you to give a compliment if there's some shit you appreciate. Don't just sit on like your appreciation. Let the motherfuckers know, man. It's just fucking crazy. Like, you're quick to run your mouth when you fucking don't like something. Run your mouth when you do like something.
Yeah, there's lots of non-praise when it comes to doing good things in this world, unfortunately, which it sucks, man. I wish humanity would take your advice and definitely give a little more shout outs to people that they really enjoy,
Oh hell yeah.
That's another thing with Fuel is the people we invite. Like, it's a lot. We want to celebrate them and freaking say, dude, check out this guy's work. It's insane. They're amazing. Check them out. Because not everyone has that voice. So that's what it is.
Tell me a little bit, I know some of the story, but probably not all. That's my favorite thing, to be quite honest with you. This podcast, like the main reason why I do it is because for the most part, there's been some people on here that I don't know, but so far, 90 whatever % of the people that have been on the podcast have been people I know, and no matter what, I learn new shit about somebody, because it's me and you shooting the shit, but it's also not just normal shooting the shit. So there's a little more pointed, there's a little more different kind of context to the conversation. So I always end up learning shit about people that I didn't know. But maybe kind of give people the heads up on what like Forever the Chaos Life is about. And do you plan to do any more books? Because I remember when your book came out, dude, I sold the shit out of them here, man. People were digging it like pretty fucking hard. I was pushing that shit on people because it's fucking rad, dude. Tell people about the concept of Forever the Chaos Life and what that's about, and like stuff you've done with that.
Before Lowbrow was a thing, and I was just doing some stuff on Chop Cult, there wasn't like anywhere for me to put stuff. Like social media, like Instagram was not as popular as it is now, and things like that, and where everyone just posts everything about their life. So blogs were a fucking thing. Remember when blogs were a thing?
I do.
You know what I mean? I used to follow a shit ton of blogs, and that was like the thing was like, you make a blog, you need a name for the blog. So Josh Kurpius, for example, one of his blogs was Kemosabe in the Lodge. It was like a weird name, but like that was cool. It was like that was the name, or it was like some kind of like punk rock / like entity of like music. Like you just had to make some kind of name for your thing. So I one night came up with Forever the Chaos Life, and I was like, that's going to be my blog, and that's what it's going to be about, is documenting the chaotic shit that people do on motorcycles. Because let's be real, motorcycles are fucking dangerous. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know if you know, but I don't know if a lot of people know, but a lot of my imagery that I shoot is off of my motorcycle. It's me hanging off my motorcycle, shooting,
which is even more
photos.
dangerous. Yeah.
So the whole name encompassed everything that I'm already doing and what I'm documenting. So I thought of that, and it's just kind of stuck over the years. So I made that back in 2010 or 9, I believe, the name, and then had like a blog spot and just kind of posted different photo adventures and wrote some blog stuff and wrote some different articles and whatnot for myself even, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for a magazine or a blog for anyone else, it was for my own. So that's kind of where I just kind of dumped everything.
Yeah.
And then it spiraled into like, well, shit, I have so much images that people have never even laid eyes onto or even seen in this blog. Maybe I should put a book together. So I put a book together of my 2013 to 2016 travels and released that in 2017. And I separated that into like different groups of like regions, basically Midwest, East Coast, California, so like West Coast area, Mexico and Canada. And I kind of separated those and then wrote maybe I think like 12 or 13 stories to go along with some of them, or poems or things that I just felt at the time.
Yeah.
And it was good reception on the book. Like you said, they were moving a little bit, but I didn't release too many of them. I kind of left it limited. So I did I think a run of 400.
Okay.
And also I did not like the printer that I used. I'll never use them again. I won't say their name or anything, but the books, some of them fell apart and I felt so fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like the bindings were falling apart and it was one of those things, like another learning curve. Like, don't, make sure to get a proof before you print off all these books and cost you thousands of dollars,
Yeah,
but,
I can't imagine it being cheap to print a whole book like that, especially like a hardcover. Yeah,
it was a hardcover over 100 pages. So, I mean, that's a thick coffee table book. And I was, I'm proud of it. It was one thing I did. And I'm still kicking myself to do number 2.
Okay.
My buddy who passed away a few years ago, Timo Caro, he goes by Tim Tigerblood from Instagram. He's from Australia. He passed away a couple years ago, but he released his second book and he sent it to me. He's like, I can't wait to see yours, mate. So I still owe him a second book, so I got to put it out soon and honor him in memory of him. So
yeah, man, for sure.
And I've with being with Lowbrow, I've had even more travels and been able to see more of the world, and I have a lot more images that no one's ever seen. So slowly working on it.
Yeah.
I kind of have a name for it already.
Yeah, you just have you have more images and stuff. You just have less time to go through and select them and process them and do all the stuff you need to do and put a book together. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm grateful that I have an amazing graphic designer in my wife.
Yeah.
She's a designer for web apps for Progressive Insurance. So she designs like the web experience on your mobile phone and stuff. But she's also like been designing all her life for websites and other things. So she really helped play out the first book, and she keeps, writing on my whiteboard of goals, like, hey, your deadline's coming up soon. I'm picking images and then I'll help you lay it out. You know what I mean? So she's motivating me a bunch to do it, and God bless her soul for being, big part of my life and motivator. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. That's rad. You need a partner in crime but also someone that pushes you so to do the things you need to do. You know what I mean? Or to reach your penultimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it also helps in life that she loves motorcycles too and loves riding them just the same as much as me. So it makes going on adventures together just that much more pleasant. You know what I mean? Like she gets on her bike and just rips it. And it's great that she'd be like, hey, let's go here, and we're gone. You know what I mean? Or instead, I know some guys fight tooth and nail to leave home because their women don't want to do that stuff. So very grateful on that aspect as well.
Oh yeah, man. So yeah, I'm stoked to hear that the second book is still in the works. This is full disclosure, man. I'm so bummed. Like when the first one came out, I bought some off you, and I had them, and they sold, and I think I got some more or whatever. And then like I forgot to take it off the site, and then like a while later, like I sold one, and I was like, oh man. And I think they were already, you couldn't get them,
Yep.
And I was like, damn it, I had to give some dude my personal one. Like, I was like, what? I was like, God damn, you know what I mean? But I was like, I'm so mad, because especially now you said, oh, there was only 400. I'm like, fuck.
I'm thinking about releasing, when I do that second book, re-releasing that first one with whatever printer I find to do a new copy. And also, like, I'm probably going to offer like a discount code to anyone that bought that first one, like, to buy the new one if they want it.
Cool.
And or the re-release kind of thing, like a discount, like, hey, sorry, that fucking printer sucks so bad, like, here's some money off on this, because like they're not cheap, obviously. Like, I was charging I think 75 or $100 a book, you know what I mean? And that's a lot of coin for somebody to dish out. And I'm again grateful that so many people bought them, but like I felt so shitty when some people were like, they falling apart on me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, so I'm definitely going to offer a discount to those people that, bought a book beforehand. Hey, send me a picture, I'll send you a discount, that you have the book or something, just to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that's just one of my ideas and whatnot. I'm always thinking of ways to help people and just get the art out there, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I think one of the coolest things you did is you put, I don't know if you did it in all of them, but all the ones I got from you, you put like an original photo, like original print in them. I thought that was cool as fuck. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you open it up and there's like this real picture in there,
Yeah, I tried to do that just to have like an extra little thing, just to make it even more special, and they don't cost very much, 15, 20 cents for a little 8x, or what it was, a 4x8 or something like that. But just anything to make it a little more, more personalized and interesting. And I tried to sign most of them and write notes in them. I felt like I was writing like fucking yearbooks, like stay cool, man. Trying not to be cheesy, but you know what I mean? Like,
surf's up, dude. Yeah. 400 of them. Like, towards the end, you must be like, all right, fuck this.
But then there's people you saw that ordered stuff and you knew them. So like, I'm writing a fucking novel, like, crying my eyes out. Thanks so much for the support, kind of stuff. So.
Yeah,
but,
it was rad. Like I just love those independent undertakings like that, because I'm like, like that's not a small feat. Like, not only to put a book together, but to publish it yourself. Like, that's not a small feat, you know what I mean? And it's not a cheap feat, because you don't got like the printing houses that like major publishers will have behind you. Like, they're paying pennies on the dollar compared to what, you're probably paying to get that same book made, and it's like, so. Yeah.
And there's like nobody backing it, no one publishing it. It's just, that's coin out of your pocket, putting that on a credit card and hoping you fucking sell it all. You know what I mean? Like, or you're going to get a shit ton of interest. What I mean?
You're like, just let me fucking break even. You know what I mean? At least,
if you can break even, and then the rest is okay from there. But working business and stuff like that now, and doing a lot more. I know a little bit more, and get that cash back card. 3% back for fucking whatever you're purchasing on your inventory, stuff like that. Like the secrets of the millionaires. You gotta hustle a little bit on some of that shit. So.
Absolutely. What do you like to shoot on now? Like days like with I know I can't keep up with photography, because it seems like every year there's like so much new stuff out, and I know a lot of people going to mirrorless and stuff. But like, what do you still like when you're shooting? Like, what's your preferred kind of camera or like setup?
I'm a stubborn bastard, and I only shoot Canon. Okay. I've never switched brands, because it's too complicated to learn a new system.
Yeah.
And I also don't like changing as long as it's working, and I don't care if that freaking buttons almost falling off. As long as it's working, I'm not changing that camera, right? So
Yeah.
I've used the same setups for, I don't know, the entire time I've been at Lowbrow until this past year. I blew up a Canon. It was like my B-roll camera. I blew it up overheating filming, and I was like, T, I need a new camera. And he was like, well, get whatever you want, man. You haven't spent any money on anything in a while, because like you get a budget for, you know, equipment once in a while and this and that. And I haven't done it forever because I'm just, like I said, so stubborn. And he goes, get whatever you want. And I was like doing the research, and you always, you know, everyone always asks me, they always come to me, what kind of camera should I buy? And that's like the hardest fucking question to answer. So I always just go, what do you need to, you know, use? What do you need it for? So for me, my question, that same question I asked myself, and it was like, I really need a video camera that is still going to take beautiful photos. So doing the research and comparing and contrasting, I picked up an R5, which is Canon's new mirrorless.
Yep.
And it is incredible. It is the nicest thing I've ever used in my life. It's so smooth, super fast. I don't know if you checked out the last two videos I did. I did a video for Virginia City Roundup, which was Chopper Magazine's like rodeo chopper show. And then I also did Cheap Thrills in New Jersey with Walter. I just did two videos that are on Lowbrow's YouTube channel, but both of those came out so buttery smooth. It looks like I'm using a gimbal half the time, and I've never had a gimbal. I never had a frickin' tripod with me, nothing. It's all just so buttery smooth when it comes to video. So
it has it has good stabilization and stuff.
Oh yeah, internal stabilization, and it's just wild to see the colors and everything that's going.
Oh, yeah.
And then the photos that come out of it are just as brilliant. They're just like mind blowing. The only drawback to this camera is it's a 42 megapixel, so the file sizes are fucking humongous.
Yeah. You could every picture is like you could put a billboard up with that.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, what am I doing with these humongous raw files? I think they're like 40 megs or 50 megs a piece. Like, I'm eating through fucking hard drives now.
Yeah. Well,
but I can't complain though, man. The way it looks is just incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And
I also use as my backup now is a 5D Mark III, which that's like the go-to. Like, everyone uses that camera, and I still love that camera a lot, and it's a great camera. And that one's been to Nepal and back and fucking hell and everything else in between. I had to send it out to get cleaned, and basically they rebuilt an entire lens for me because I crashed in Nepal. And it hit somebody while I was shooting Michael Lichter.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
and I was like, I'm shooting a legend right now, and I fucking just ate shit and hurt someone that was in front of me, and I felt so bad. But like, that camera got like wrecked real hard during that trip, and we had to clean it all out, and basically they rebuilt the whole thing. But it's still my workhorse for sure.
Oh yeah, so, was that one of Bear's trips?
Yeah. He does that motorcycle Sherpa.
Yep.
He invited me out with a handful of guys that I'm really close with. Pat from Lead Sled Customs was with us. Tim Stat from Gigacycles.
Yep.
We had Chris Drew from Spoke and Dagger. Chris Galley from Devil Chicken. All the Bilwell guys, Jeff and Rouser. And one of their warehouse dudes. So it was like the A team, you know what I mean? Like, all my homies were on this trip.
Yeah,
so it was really, and of course Michael Lichter, which was really, really cool to hang out with Michael Lichter and be able to like pick his brain about stuff. And then by halfway through the trip, he was picking my brain and asking me questions and wanting to learn why I was shooting low light. And like, that dude is so like amazing to like hang out with, because he's just always wanting to learn. He's been doing this 40 years. You think, oh, he's going to be a cocky, whatever. Like, I've done all this. No, he wants to like learn from you and talk to you and see how you're doing things and how you are. And he calls me once in a while now and it's like, hey, what have you been shooting? And you know what I mean? Like, it's just wild to be able to talk to a person you've looked up to for so long and a legend in our industry,
Well, that's one of the things I was talking to somebody about this. I can't remember who on a past episode of the podcast is like, not to rest on your laurels, but you know when you've kind of like achieved a certain kind of level of success when the people that were once your idols are now your colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, what the hell's going on? You murdering a dog or something?
my little Kyoshi, my little Pomeranian, barking at my wife. She just came home. Sorry, I apologize.
No problem, dude. It's funny. It's authentic, dude. It's like,
she just wanted to get on the podcast, man. She was really itching.
Yeah, dude, she's immortalized and forever, in the ether out there. But yeah, dude, fucking, what else is going on, man? Like, so. We could do a whole separate podcast just on those trips because I think I was supposed to go on that one because I remember him saying Lichter was going, and I think he had mentioned you and a couple other people, and I'm not like pushing it off. It's just like literally, it's so hard to get the time like that much time.
It's 2.5 weeks, man. Plus you're traveling. You know what I mean? Like it's 2 weeks of amazing riding.
Yeah.
On top of you're going to have to fly for 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. And 2 days back, and then get back to adjusting your time zone and this and that. So it's been so tough to just try and find the time to do that. And I'm gonna do it sooner or later. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean.
Yeah, you definitely need to, man. It'll change your riding like views completely. Like it's just a whole nother world, literally.
Yeah. Did you do that proverbial like that bridge where you got to stand up and drive across the big what do they call it, those the rope bridges and stuff?
Yeah, we did one. I did one that was over a half mile off the ground, which was insanity. Like to look down and be able to see completely through the bridge and just keep straight. And then you have your locals just kind of walking it, and they don't care if motorcycles are on it because there's no rules out there when it comes to riding or doing anything. Yeah. So like you're having to like dodge a person on this skinny ass bridge without hitting them. You know what I mean? And not losing your balance and not dropping the bike into these ropes. And it's just wild.
Yeah. God damn, yeah, that must be fucking rad. I can't wait. We gave away one of those trips at one of Full Speed Aheads, and the dude's still around here sometime. I got to talk to him about it too. Like, but yeah, dude, like, what else is going on, man? I know this is like the week, you're like, what are we like 3-4 days out from the show, so I know you got to be mad busy, but like anything else you want to hit on and now like and then if not we can continue another time because I know I'm trying to just be respectful of time because I know you I'm sure you got a million things fucking going on right now.
I'm literally trying to like relax as much as possible, being that this is the 6th show. I've literally delegated and or like tried to get as many people on board to like do things for me for this one. Yeah. So we have a new manager at Lowbrow. His name's Dan, and he's like the general manager of the warehouse and whatnot. And we asked him like, dude, do you think you would want to manage the show? And he was like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. And he's taken it, full reins, basically hired all the people I need for help and just organizing everything when it comes to that. Like today was the last piece of the puzzle. This is a dumb problem to have, but we needed ice and no one delivered ice. And we're like, where the fuck do you get ice? And he found it, figured it out, and we got a pallet of ice coming Saturday. And I was like, that was the last real piece, which is a stupid piece, but like, it's got to get done. And a lot of people don't think of that shit. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the show organization is you got to have everything because you don't want to run around for 2 hours trying to find, 15 different gas stations that get 5 bags of ice at each, you know what I mean? Like dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
So we're just super grateful to have him. And like, he's just a go-getter. Like that dude just wants to work and he's a workhorse and he's just made Lowbrow better and he's made, Fuel Cleveland hopefully even more better and allowing me to relax a little more.
Well, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Dude.
So, other than that, man, I just released a new Misfits t-shirt, which is pretty sick. Not that they know about it.
What's that?
Not that they know about it, but I worked with this dude from Czechoslovakia. His name's Lucas Kroll, and he's just a phenomenal graphic designer. And I was like, dude, I've been listening to a shit ton of Misfits lately, and I was like, can you somehow incorporate one of my photos, a graveyard, and the Crimson Skull? You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. Just give me some reference points. So I sent him a picture I took of Marcus Ghost Tooth from Terminal Speed of one of his bikes and him riding it. And he turned him into Jerry Only and then drew 2 other choppers and put one of the Crimson Skull dudes riding a chopper in a graveyard. And he made like Forever the Chaos Life in this fucking sick ass punk rock metal, font. And just super stoked on a t-shirt. I know it's silly to have, be stoked on a t-shirt, but I don't know. It's just a fun project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, not at all, dude. I get stoked on that shit too. I got to see that thing. I don't think I saw that. So is it on your Instagram?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram, and then it's also on Lowbrow. One of the benefits of working at Lowbrow is I can actually distribute some of my stuff now there, which is another cool thing. When I do release that book, hopefully we'll have that on there as well. You know what I mean? And being able to ship worldwide and offer that service to people, because as me, a little guy, shipping worldwide is insanely expensive.
And the difference in shipping now from when you put that book out is, as you know, is it's fucking probably doubled since if not more.
Even if you put it as media mail, it's still fucking a ton of money. It's just, and then good luck getting it in a timely fashion too on some services, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's madhouse out there right now, dude. Yeah. But yeah, dude. So where can people find out more about like you and what you got going on? Give out some of the websites. I'm going to put them all in the show notes as well. Like, obviously I'll put Lowbrow and fuelcleveland.com and all that. But what are some of the, websites or, social media pages where people can find some of your work on?
So I changed my blog over from a blog spot to an actual like real website host and server. So it's not a blog anymore, but it's just foreverthechaoslife.com. You can go there and check out some of my work. You can also see some of my items I have for sale. I have a handful of t-shirts, hats, prints. I still sell prints. And I also do, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but if you see anything that I've ever taken, I will print that off for you in any size you want. So like you could screenshot it, send me a message and say, I want it in this size, and I'll give you a quote on what it would be and print that off for you. So I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. They just see the handful of prints I have and they're like, oh, well, maybe I don't want that one because it's some random Joe Schmo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely do offer that service. So if you ever really enjoyed a image that I've taken, I can basically print any of them off because I have a collection of, I think, 7 or 8 hard drives worth of stuff from over the years. So you can also follow my Instagram. It's just at Mikey Revolt. I never changed that to Forever the Chaos Life just because it's always just been that, and it makes more sense. So and then also follow Lowbrow Customs and lowbrowcustoms.com. You can see all of my work on there. I have countless blog posts and countless YouTube videos. About 90% of our video content is created by me. So it's a good platform to have a good channel. You know what I mean? To be able to broadcast a lot of the stuff we come up with.
Oh yeah, man.
Whether it's goofy, fun, or actual serious stuff, another cool thing that happened. I don't know if you were aware, but I did a Canadian 4-part episode for a travel group up in British Columbia. It was basically like a documentary kind of thing, like showcasing British Columbia, and it won Best Canadian Film at the Toronto Film Fest this year.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty amazing. It wasn't me filming. I was just a part of it as like I was a character in it, but it was awesome because like I had some direction in helping the director like with promoting Lowbrow, promoting like our image and whatnot, and like also taking photos for that whole thing, like doing the covers and whatnot, and helping with their promoting of their tourism and whatnot. So that was a pretty proud moment of some accomplishment kind of thing that we did. So that just happened, like I think 2 weeks ago they won that award for that. So pretty stoked on that. And you can also see that on Lowbrow Customs YouTube channel. And it's just one of those pieces like, dude, get out and ride and like see the world. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit that I love, is experiencing new places on motorcycles, and to be a part of that is fucking great,
Fuck yeah, man. Well, cool, dude. Like I'm going to let you get to it, dude. And I'll see you in a few days. And, you probably won't be any more relaxed. So we're probably
I'm gonna try, Truth. I really am. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna chill at your booth for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes this time instead of like 5. I promise.
Nah, no problem at all, man. I know, dude. We didn't even get to put full speed ahead on this year because it was the venue that we had, is no longer a venue. They're a parking lot for Amazon. So.
Oh no!
The whole
really?
fairgrounds turned into a big Amazon parking lot for all the.
What were we just talking about at the beginning of this episode? Fuck Amazon. Seriously.
Exactly, dude. And but whatever, it's just but trying to find. There's not a lot of 45,000 square foot available warehouses in the general Boston area.
I bet because it's so many old buildings, right? Like they're not going to open those up. It's like
no.
What's your oldest building in Boston? I've only been there twice, so I don't know like all the history. But what's like one of the oldest things in Boston? Like what, 1700s?
No,
1600s?
1600s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like holy shit, man! Like. Yeah, to find a humongous warehouse out there, I bet you is really hard.
No, yeah, and it would be like, dude, put it this way, like a 1-bedroom apartment is like $2,500. So imagine what 45,000 and that's like 700-800 square feet. Imagine what 45,000 square feet would run.
Even just for a day. Yeah. Astronomical. Yeah. You need to find some kind of huge lot, like how Born Free does it. You know what I mean? And just do something outside, maybe during the summer. And Tyler and I are down to go. Like whenever you do it, because like I feel so bad that fucking both times I had to go to, or was going to go to your show that I had stupid weddings.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you the second time I remember you're like, fuck you, you're lying.
I was just busting balls, dude. You know that.
I know, but I felt so fucking bad, dude. Cause like I said, you've come to every single Field Cleveland, and I've not been to your show yet, and now you're not doing it. I'm even more depressed.
Yeah, no, it'll be back next year. We're gonna do our winter one. The winter one's really small because it's like in Boston proper, and it's in Cambridge, but same type of thing. And but we're gonna do the winter one, which is it's only like 15-20 bikes, but it's just like a cabin fever. Get the fuck out, winter party.
Just get people moving, get people grooving, and talking about motorcycles in the wintertime. That's always a good thing. Yeah, we do that here too. Like it's not always Field Cleveland. Like we just do small parties. Like let's get together. Like we did a drive-in movie. We rented a drive-in movie theater, and like maybe 200 people showed up. But it was awesome. Like it was quaint, small, and like those 200 local people had a hell of a good time. So just doing those small things in the community are great too, man. That's awesome that you're doing that.
No, absolutely, yeah. But we'll be back next summer. We're scouting locations now to try and find something. But yeah, we still got the ship. The best part is we still got the battleship for the pre-party. They're all into it. It's just finding a place for the actual show. The main show is what the problem is.
I wish you could do the show on the ship. That would be so sick. Like have the bike on top of the ship.
We did it before. We brought a couple bikes up there. The problem is that the tides and the gangplank gets so fucking steep. Like when the tide changes, like trying to, and half these guys, like the bike I'm bringing to you guys this weekend has no front brake. You know what I mean? Like it would be, it would just be fucking mayhem trying to load and unload, and so it was just like we'll bring a couple up, and but that's about it.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so shitty to see a bunch of $20,000, $30,000 bikes or more just roll off a boat.
Just piled at the bottom of a fucking gangplank. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just fucking send it down. Yeah.
I told you to put that fucker in gear, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, man, I can't fucking wait for this weekend. I'm stoked to hang out and see you guys and see everybody at the things. I missed some shows this year. Like, big shout out to Walter and everyone over with Cheap Thrills. Like, this is the first time I missed Cheap Thrills. I fucking feel shitty, but it's just so much going on. This was a bad summer bad summer. So, but yeah, man, next year full fucking throttle, dude. We're going full throttle next year, and everyone will have their shows back up and running regular schedule. And this is wishful thinking right now. Yeah, fucking. But
the wishful thinking is good though, man.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
You got to put that out there. You know what I mean? Put it out, and hopefully it catches on.
You definitely missed that pool party. That was a good time at Cheap Thrills.
Someone was saying
he killed it.
it looks
he
so
killed
rad
it with that idea.
with all the bikes around and everything. I heard all about it.
It felt like California with Jersey accents. It was really weird.
Yeah. Fucking, it's like a Bon Jovi after party at like a fucking show in California with all the road crew and stuff.
For sure. I forgot he fucking road crew for Bon Jovi.
He
That's
did.
amazing.
I know.
He's gonna kill us right now.
No. He was on a while back. He road crewed for a lot of people, man.
Yeah. He's lived a life. That dude's awesome. I love that dude.
Oh,
he's coming out too, so he's going to have a booth out here at Fuel as well. Walter's going to be out here, so he's been another one that's came every single year. And that's a big ask for you guys on the East Coast coming all the way out here, but we really appreciate it, man.
No, of course, man. And that's the beauty of our thing, man. Is like we go all over, and it's like we have friends all over the country, and you see them at these specific points. You know what I mean? And that's half the draw for it. It's like going out and having a good time with your friends that you don't get to see all the time.
Hey, man, I just want to say thanks again for all the kind words, letting me be on your show. I've been itching to get on here. I'm glad that we finally made it happen. And like you said, maybe we'll do one in person sometime soon. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe we'll do one in one of Bear's fucking trips or something in the middle of fucking some crazy country on weird motorcycles together or something. That would be fun.
Man.
Because I definitely plan on trying to do another one of those. But I really appreciate everything you do for the industry. I appreciate you. And thanks again, man. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to see you this weekend, and I'm gonna give you a big hug and stoked to see you.
Right back at you, bro. And we'll hang out in a couple days. Until then, I'm going to put this episode out tonight. I'm going to run and jump right on it so we can get it out tonight and have a few days for it to air. But so hopefully we get some more people to get off their ass and motivate some people to get down to Fuel. I know it's already going to be packed anyway, but hopefully we get some more people there, because the more the merrier, right?
Yeah, and it's free, man. It's free. Everyone come out. It's completely free.
That's the best part, man. It's absolutely a big fucking null set. You know what I mean? It costs you nothing to go. Other than your time to get there.
Yep, time and gas, and that's okay.
Hell yeah! All right, bud.
All right,
we'll talk soon, man. I'll see you in a few days.
All right, brother. Talk to you.
Brother.